This is Ken Sisk, and welcome to Wood, Stone, and Steel. Today's topic has to do with when is there too much glass in a building? It really hit me about maybe 7 years ago. I had bought a new home. Within the first week, I was on the upper deck, and lo and behold, I was looking at New York City. I had a beautiful view of New York City. It was about 22 miles south of the city. And at sunrise, I'm looking and I saw this orange glow in the distance. And I was like, what the heck is that in the city? I mean, is a building on fire? And I quickly realized, wait a minute. That's the reflection of sunrise to the east while I'm looking to the north and coming right back at me. That's when I realized the reflectivity of glass and the impact it has on the environment. Because I'm 22 miles away and I can see this really bright orange glow coming off of buildings in the city, and I had no idea what was going on. So let's look at the board and I can show you exactly what was happening. So here I am on my deck, and here's New York City. Here's the sun to the east, and here's the sun to the west. So on every morning at sunrise, depending if it was sunny out, because if it's cloudy, you're not going to get the reflectivity. But there was enough sun to come off of here and bounce back at me here, 22 miles away, and I can see this orange glow. Kind of give you a better view here. Here's the house, here's the sun. So I was seeing this orange glow of buildings in New York City, and from here to here, again, 22 miles distance, and I can see this orange glow. And it happened to be only for a certain period of time before the sun gets up so high where now it's reflecting back into the water. So I was like, all right, that was the biggest impact for me. Like, wow, I didn't realize that I could see the sunrise through buildings. Not only that, when it came sunset time, it also hit off the building back to me at my house. So there were 2 points in time, depending on if it was cloudy or not, that like, wait a minute, this is so cool. But in one respect, it's kind of like, I never saw this anywhere else in nature, right? So the next part we want to get to is when I experienced what we'll call the double whammy. I'm walking down 6th Avenue in New York City, right near Bryant Park. So Bryant Park is around here. I'm over here. And as I'm here, I'm like feeling this intense sunlight on me. I'm starting to get hot. I'm like, what the heck is going on? The weirdest thing. So not only was the sun hitting me in this direction, the sun actually was reflecting off of the building, heading back and hitting me from 2 sides, okay? Hence the double whammy. So not only did I have a shadow over here, I had a shadow over here on the ground. I'm like, this is weird. But the building right here is pretty much all glass, flat, plain, reflective surface. And so that was the second time I was like, wow, this is scalding, but what's going on? All right, so let's get to another one here. The next one, recently, I'm in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I'm right over here at the base of this building. The sun is here, of course, this is south, and this is north. I'm facing here, and again, I'm in the shady side of the street walking down, and all of a sudden, I'm in bright daylight. What was happening, the sun was reflecting off of the building here and getting me right here. As a matter of fact, this whole side of the building was lit up, just like it was daylight. It was daylight, but I was on the shady side of the street, but the sun's intensity was able to hit me on the shady side of the street. One of the big things that happens with this is that now this building is experiencing extra heat as a result of sunlight hitting this side of the building, because not only is sunlight hitting this side of the building and heating up, it's actually reflecting off of here and heating the other side of the building. In the summer, not a good thing. In the winter, maybe it's a good thing. You lower your utility bills. So I got to be fair with this reflectivity aspect of it. An interesting fact is that when we do high rises, the planning department always asks for a shadow study. They want to see how your high rise is impacting the neighborhood area when it comes with the sun, and they want to see 9 a.m., noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and they also want to see it through all the seasons and see where the shadow goes. I think we should do some reflective glass studies where we can see what the reflection of glass is going to do to the environment, the neighborhood. 6 a.m., 9 a.m., because in that range you can get blinded in the summertime if you're driving, the lights come right back of you off another building. And let's go to 12 and see where it's baking you on the sidewalk. And let's make this a consideration. So let's go 9 o'clock, noon, 3, 6, and see how it impacts the living environment, just like the shadow study does. So let me know your thoughts about that as well. Another example of a glass building that really had a big problem was the walkie-talkie building in London. Let's take a look here. So the facade on this side, which is pretty much facing in the southern region, had sunlight hitting off of it, but the crazy thing is this is slightly concave. And as a result of it being slightly concave, when the rays hit here, it reflected off the building, across the street, and all that energy that was here converged into one spot. Almost like taking that magnifying glass when you were little, trying to start that fire. Don't do that, kids. So right here, it's crazy. They measured temperatures here at this region. It wasn't a singularity type spot. It was a general region, but they were getting temperature readings up to almost 200 degrees. That's how crazy it was. A man actually fried an egg there to show. They actually had a car, the plastic part of the car melt. There was carpeting right here in front of the building that it went through the building and it started to smolder the carpeting within the building. So this is where having that glass surface facing that southern region and getting that reflectivity really can impact the other side of the street. This is the most egregious part, and this should never happen. Especially, we knew this all in advance. We didn't. Everyone should have known that concave sun, this is going to create an issue. All right, so let's segue into the last spot. This is more of the wood, stone, and steel type of building I would like to see, and I think most of you would like to see, where there's less glazing. We want glazing because you want to introduce light into the structure. You want to be able to look outside the structure, of course, if you're looking at beauty. So what percentage of glass are we looking at? What range of glass are we looking at where it feels better as you're walking down the street? So there is a certain height of building, and just to kind of give you an idea, if we were to make the first 3, 4, 5 stories of the building all of natural material, maybe we would avoid this type of reflection coming back on to the individual. Plus, you would also have the beautiful look of stone, brick, natural materials as you walk down the block. So it's a win-win at that point. If the zoning for that area has like 50, 60, 70 stories, who knows how high the zoning permits the building to be, maybe after that 5th story up to 7th story, then you can start to put up your glass or whatever else you want to do. Of course, I'd like to see more natural materials. Again, this is way too high for me as well. A more natural built environment probably is in the range of maybe 3, 4, 5 stories tall, where you don't need an elevator. Once you go past a certain height, you definitely need an elevator. But then, so you could start to put your glass surfaces here if we're stuck as a zoning issue. And by right, someone could do this. But those first 3, 4, 5 stories, let's make it where there's more natural material, stone, brick, ornamentation, and make it look beautiful. I mean, this takes a little bit more work, well, a lot bit more work to do the design because it's not standard copy, paste. But to make this look beautiful, so when we walk down the street, we witness the beauty of man's hand, artistry, ornamentation, and of course, natural materials. So let me know what you think about what is too much glazing and what your thoughts are about making maybe the first 3, 4, 5 stories of a building all natural type of materials. All right? We'll talk next week. Bye.